you got yourselves a lot of officers down there in the city, but there's not a lot of. He didn't notice a lot of officers down here in this area. Um, so I figured I'd do my part and kind of help y'all out. But what made me choose BCSO over LSPD probably be um I'm more of a country kind of person. I'm an outdoorsy kind of man. I like to fish and hunt and all that kind of stuff. So I like this area a little bit better than in the city. A little less populated. Um, more better scenery, stuff like that. And BCSO has just always kind of piqued my interest over LSPD.
Okay, okay, yeah. So
Gotcha.
the reason why we don't have so many officers like PD does is because we like to real handpicky with the people we have around. Because our status, I would say, like for the whole city, how people view us, we want to keep that clean. Not too much drama, and we're like a family here. There's no bad beefs inside of BCSO. There's no one arguing. We all trust each other, and that's the kind of people we want to have around. So we're just kind of picky.
Well, that's good to hear because I like, if you're real tight knit like that, operations tend to go a little bit smoother. Teamwork goes a little bit smoother. Y'all tend to work a little bit better together that way, anyhow.
Yep, exactly. It's nice. Like Mr. Griffin here. I love Mr. Griffin. If I ever need backup, I know he's got my six. I feel confident in going into scenes knowing that he's around or anyone else in BCSO's around.
Oh yeah, of course. It always helps to have someone have your back who you can trust.
For sure. So, in one adjective, what would your last employer describe you as?
Um, One adjective I'd probably say confident.
Okay, okay. And what areas are you most confident in?
I'd say I wouldn't say I'm most confident in one or two specific areas. I'd like to describe it as mm, general confidence in most areas. I like to approach whatever situation I find myself in. You know, I've found that having confidence can help a situation more than any other. If you're going to a situation and you're not sure what the outcome's going to be, you can at least be confident in it, and it'll help your side a little bit more if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get you. I feel you. Okay. So you're pretty confident. So let's say you're having a rough time working with someone. What's the most thing that you struggle with when working with someone?
Well, I I'm I'd like to say I'm a people person. I'm a people pleaser. So if I don't agree with someone or they don't agree with me, I like to meet everybody in the middle. That's kind of how I approach most situations. So everyone's real satisfied with the out whatever the situation may be. Um, if something's not going my way, I'm not too butthurt or not too tore up about it. As long as I get a little bit, they get a little bit, and then at the end of the day, as long as we can do what's right and make the proper decisions in each situation, then that's all I'm really striving for, I suppose.
Okay. So what do you do in high stress situations to keep yourself calm?
Well, I always tell myself, regardless of what the situation is, high stress, a situation that doesn't go my way, whatever, even just a bad day, whatever it may be, I like to tell myself a little saying I tell myself is nothing's forever, everything's temporary. So, regardless if you're having a bad day, that bad day is not going to be forever. Like you got a fresh start tomorrow. If you go through a bad situation, you do something somebody doesn't like and they get mad at you, they ain't gonna be mad at you forever. Especially the way you're describing how y'all are real tight here. So I just know that going into something, if I know it's going to be stressful, it's not going to be stressful for long. I take it one step at a time until it's done, and then I don't, whatever the outcome may be, positive or negative, I don't let that hang on my shoulders for too long because, at the end of the day, we got a job to do, and we can't let, the outcome of a bad situation drag us down for the rest of the day and affect our decision making for other scenarios.
Yep. Definitely agree on that part. We gotta keep ourselves in check no matter what kind of situation we're put in. We just gotta move on to the next and not have a clouded head.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any knowledge of our 10 code?
Um, I'd say a little bit. Like, for example, I know like 1095 is like on duty or en route or like in an active scenario. I believe, right? Something to that effect. Um, I know each area does their thing, or I should say each city does their thing a little bit different. So I'm somewhat familiar. I'd need a little touch up, of course, but it won't take me long to get used to that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. So en route for us is gonna be 10-8.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no, you're good. Like this isn't gonna affect the hiring process at all. It's just kind of see where you're at.
Yeah,
See. So if I was to say I was in an active 1080, could you?
I believe a 1080 is a high speed pursuit, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Correct. Yep. Then 1070. What do you think that would be?
1070. I'm gonna assume I'm wrong, but a 1070 would be like a physical altercation of some kind, like someone's getting aggressive or violent, something to that effect.
So our 1070 is gonna be a foot pursuit.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a little easier since it's right below the vehicle pursuit. 1013.
I have no idea on that one.
Okay. And then we say code 4.
Yep, code four. I have heard that before, but I'm not 100% for sure on it.
Gotcha. That's fine. That's just our all clear there.
I'm assuming all these codes, you have like a list of them written
Yeah.
up somewhere.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
if I got hired and I was on patrol or whatever, I would definitely have that list pulled up on my second set of eyes, just so I can be more accurate that way.
Perfect. You beat me to it, man. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah. Like I said, you don't really gotta like memorize all of them, just kind of the common ones. And it's always nice to have them on the second set of eyes.
Now, I will say a bad habit that I do have, at least from my past law enforcement experience in other lives, is I tend to get caught up in the situation and like for an example, how you were saying a 10 what did you say it was the 10-7 was the foot pursuit, is that what you said?
1070.
Yeah, 10-7. So like sometimes I'll get caught up in the situation, and instead of saying like, "Oh, we got a 1070," I'd say, "Oh, we got a feller, feller A's running. I'm on foot chasing him." You know what I mean? I say the situation instead of like the 10 code. That's a bad habit I have, but that's something I could work on for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you're not gonna be perfect every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to try to work on it as much as possible. Be able to call out those codes. But it's not gonna be too big of a deal, especially in the heat of the moment, like you said. It's a little hard to think of everything at once while you're trying to deal with the situation.
Right.
So let's say you're sitting there at a traffic stop, right? You're waiting for vehicles to pass you by, and you see someone blow past you at 150 miles per hour. Upon stopping this vehicle, you walk up to the window and you see that it is a family member. Are you going to give them a ticket, or how would you approach this situation?
Well, I reckon, if they're speeding, there's some kind of reason behind it. I mean, there is cases where people just like to go fast, I reckon. But, I'd pull them over and come up to the window and announce myself, of course. And I'd do a bit of talking with them, see why they're going so fast. Depending on the situation, say, you know, fella's got a pregnant wife and they're on the way to the hospital, and or something to that extent, I'd probably or someone's injured and they're on the way to the hospital, something an emergency of some kind. Instead of like writing them up and giving them a ticket or whatever, I personally would probably, you know if we're not too busy, if we have the time for it, I'd probably give them an escort to the hospital. Just to make sure that they make it there safe and don't crash into nobody or don't cause no more harm to nobody else or themselves.
Okay, okay. So, if you were to be hired on as a deputy here, how would you make a positive impact in our community out here?
I would definitely do my best to use my problem solving skills and my leadership skills to help everybody. Like I was saying earlier, I'm a people pleaser, so I'm always trying to help somebody, whatever it may be. If we're having a slow day and ain't much going on, I'd probably ask around, see what everybody else is up to, see if I can't help them in any way. Just make it, and make everybody's day a little bit easier. Do whatever I can.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I feel you on that one. I like to make sure our community is nice and safe, helping them out. Even if it's just like a simple phone call of them having a question to us.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a squirrely type myself, so I don't like to be sitting around doing nothing because I believe there's always something to be done, regardless if it's a task I got to do or if I can help somebody else with their task. So there's always something to be done.
Yes, sir. I really like that answer. That's gonna definitely go a long way. So, let's say you're just at a shootout and you have someone in the back of your car. You're transporting them down to MRPD, BCSO, Sandy, whichever one, and then upon heading to the department, you see a major 1050. So a 1050 is going to be an accident, a crash, right? You see someone that has flown out their window. What are you going to do in that situation? I remember you do have a violent offender in your backyard.
Okay. So my I'd first of all, I'd call to see if there's any other available units that could help me, you know, take care of the crash because like you said, I do have a violent offender in the back seat, and if left unattended to, that could just be a whole mess of a situation. So I would ask if there's any backup units who could take care of that crash there, or even call for EMS. If like you said, if I saw someone fly out the window, that probably wouldn't be a bad option there, is to call EMS, have them run down there. I would definitely try to get another officer with EMS just in case there's more to the situation than just a crash. With a crash happening, damage done to somebody's personal property, one part of the party isn't going to be happy with the other one. So, just to keep everyone safe, I would try to get another officer down there, and like I said, also maybe EMS or whoever's available to try to help with the situation, so I can take care of a Mr. Troublemaker in my back seat.
Okay, okay. Do you have any cousins that are criminal or in a gang at all?
Not in a gang, or not necessarily criminal, I guess, but my cousin has been known to sell protein powder, if you catch my drift. But other than that, that's about it. He's not violent. He doesn't do shootouts or nothing. He's a protein powder salesman.
Okay, okay. Do you understand that if you are hired, you'll be put on a probation, could be let go anytime due to your performance?
Oh yes, sir. I believe I read that in the emails before I submitted my application.
Gotcha, gotcha. So when was the last time you were law enforcement?
That would be in one of the previous I was in. I was the captain of a SWAT team because I do have a military background. Um, that was, shoot, I don't know. I'd probably say about 4 or 5 months ago.
That's cool, man. Were you active duty before?
I was National Guard.
Oh, you were? Cool. Yeah, we got
Uh,
SWAT. I'm sure if you do get hired on, you could talk to Chuli eventually about joining SWAT since you have previous experience. He likes that, so.
well, I should say when I say National Guard and service, I mean like in my head, not
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's always good. to have people that have actual experience, you know, that actually know what they're doing. That way, we're not just running around with chickens.
Like
Chickens
chickens
with our
with their
head cut
heads cut off. Yes, sir. I got you.
So here at BCSO, Blaine County Sheriff's Office, we have 3 core values that we go by. So our first value is going to be courage. Could you tell me what courage means to you?
To me, courage means, some people may have different meanings to them, but I'd like to think courage is how do I put this in words so it makes a little bit more sense. So like courage is the ability to operate or proceed, with your day in the face of fear, knowing that it's there and around you. Um, knowing that you are scared and that you are afraid of whatever may come your way, but having the ability to still operate at a efficient capacity and still still get what needs to be done. That's pretty close to what I'd like to consider courage, I suppose.
Then our second one's going to be integrity. What does integrity mean to you?
So I like to tie integrity and self-discipline together. Not necessarily together, but I do believe that they both have a part in each other. Um, Meaning, integrity's example. If something goes wrong and you need to, report it to a higher up, you need to have first of all you need to have the self-discipline to acknowledge that you messed up and to have the courage to call your higher ups and admit to them that you made a mistake. And the integrity ties into that as well because you could very easily lie or just not even call a higher up and say you messed up so you wouldn't get in trouble. But having that integrity and that self discipline to know when you did wrong and to track yourself and always move in the path of progression is definitely a good thing to have.
Gotcha. So you're very self-accountable. Okay. So our third one's going to be community service. Kind of elaborate more on that one.
So some people, when they hear community service, they think of a punishment. Cleaning. They did something wrong, so they got to go. Sorry about that. They got to go clean up the side of the road, or go, put their time in at like a nursing home or something. I don't necessarily look at it as a punishment. I look at community service as if the community, the town, the city that's around you isn't quite the way you'd like it to be, you can. I believe that the first step to making a change is changing yourself. So community service to me is a my attempt at and trying to improve the community, the people, the city that's around me.
Okay. Do you have
Whether
any?
that
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
whether that be by physical actions or just my demeanor, just how I present myself to people around me.
I like that answer. It's pretty descriptive answer, actually. Don't get a lot of descriptive answers like that. It's one thing I'm kind of looking for here, and definitely hit the nail on the head. Do you have any objections towards any of these?
No, not at all. Like I said in my email application, I'm pretty flexible. I'm in your guys' home. I'm in your guys' territory now, so I won't have a lot of objections about how y'all run your home, run your area. So I'm here to learn. I'm a very teachable person, so I'm down to operate in any capacity that y'all need me to.
Perfect. So, I mean, here at BCSO, obviously we do get often shootouts, help MRPD because it does kind of get dull down here, but we like to focus more on like roly-poly aspects, like traffic stops. We'll set up DUI checkpoints, just kind of roly-poly with the community a bit, not really arrest everyone we see inside, not be a W cop.
Right.
We're very much about our community and making a good name for ourselves, and that's kind of the aspect that we're kind of looking for here.
Yeah, and that kind of tie also. I guess now that you mentioned that, that kind of ties in with my thing of community service, because I know a lot of people out there when they think of any kind of law enforcement, they're gonna think of sticklers who are out there to just arrest them just to be dickheads or whatever the case is. But I'd like to have a face that the community can see and understand that not all cops are bad cops, not all cops are corrupt. We're not all out here to just arrest you just for the heck of it. You know what I mean? We're all out here to keep everyone safe and keep everything aligned. I'd like to be that face that people can go to and know that that officer right there, he's going to make the good judgment and not just kind of disband that image that all cops are out to get you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, good community service has went a long way for us at BCSO. I mean, I pulled up to scenes where people were yelling, trying to spit in my face, like, pick this, pick that, but halfway through, they're like, you know what, this isn't really so bad. Not trying to put me in jail or something little, and so any interaction we basically pull up to, obviously we still have those types that are just screaming pigs on our face. Not gonna get away from that, but it's pretty decent sometimes. We pull up, and they're like, "Oh, BCSO, they're more compliant, and just overall better interactions."
Yeah, I got another example. For instance, LSPD had made a gang member mad, so he was trying to cause problems. So he came across me in my cop car or my sheriff's car, asked me to get out of the car with my hands up, took me hostage, and then realized I was BCSO, so he let me go. So it's kind of instances like that. They respect BCSO. I want to say more than LSPD because LSPD likes to just roll up and shoot and not really interact much. When in opposite, we like not to bash them at all. They're a great department, but not to us. We like to roly-poly instances and get along with the community. So that's kind of the way we roll.
Yeah,
I would
I'd
say.
like to say I have pretty. I'd like to say I have pretty thick skin, so all that pig calling and spatting and whatnot don't really get to me. Um, I'd like to say I got a pretty good sense of humor, so all that stuff just tickles me pink.
I've never actually heard that one before. That's funny. All right, man. Got all your questions down, got the interview conducted, and we should be with you shortly. It shouldn't take as long as whenever you submitted your application. Since we already have you in here and reviewing your answers. Most it would probably take is maybe 1 at max 2 days.
Okay.
How do you spell your
I
last
will.
name again?
It'd be Jhonson, Jhonson.
Okay, cool.
And then I will say so. In head, I'm disabled. So my availability, as I put on the emails, is I can try to be as flexible as I can, but in some instances, I have to fly out in a hurry because of some medical stuff that goes on. I try not to do that in scenarios like if I'm in an active scene. I'll try my best to hold through till the scene's out, but I would like to let y'all know that I'm disabled, so I don't have a very set schedule on like when I'm in or when I'm out. I'm in city and out of city just at complete random. As bad as that sounds, but I'll do the best I can for sure.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you let us know, we'll work with you. We're not really too worried about, how often you're available. Obviously, to an extent we are, but like I said, if you just let us know, we'll definitely work with you. We're not hard headed. We're not like, oh my god, you gotta be in city this time. If you don't, you're fired.
Right. I mean, and I get like important stuff. Mandatory trainings, meetings, whatever. I try my best to make those, but just in general, like I'm in complete like it's random. Some days I'm in at like 4 a.m. Sometimes I'm in like around 1 or 5. It's just completely random.
Yeah, man, that's completely fine. And not to go OOC as much, but in head problems always come first. Whether that be like you happen to be somewhere at a specific time, in head always comes first. This is just a city.
Right, right.
We just like to make everyone feel welcome, you know, let them have their schedule. As long as you're in city being active at least a little bit, you know, showing that you are dedicated and want to move forward in your career here, you're all good. Not worry at
Oh,
all.
For sure. That's what I'm looking for. Or striving for, I suppose you could say.
You have any other questions for us, man?
Nope, that's about it. I honestly didn't expect to get an interview today either, so this is more than I was expecting.
Well, yeah, I saw your application. I was like, you know what? It's been a couple days, you know, see what we can do for him. All right, we'll get you in.
Cool. I appreciate the time, fellas.
Yeah, man, I like the responses for sure. So thank you.
You know, he's been in
Recording
the city
started.
and he's been out exploring quite a bit, and he's telling me that you know, you got yourselves a lot of officers down there in the city.